everyone, I'm the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing some unexpected P Bandai items, a rough week for Tsuburaya, and the end of High School Heroes.
Aww.
Yeah, but before all that, Buster, how you doing?
I am doing, I'm kind of on a hype seat right now. Not for videos, I mean, I'm kind of calming down on those, because I've been, like, pumping out, like, retrospectives on, like, 40-episode shows, like, twice a week at this point. But, also, Sora is coming to Super Smash Bros., and as a big Kingdom Hearts and Smash Bros. Fan, I have my Switch on standby because he comes out while we're recording this.
Why do you do this to me? You know, I do these nice things for you. I roll out the red carpet. I make this whole podcast so I can get you into modular media, and then you gotta bring fucking video games into it.
Hey, boy, go do that first.
Yeah, well, shut up.
How you doing?
I'm fine. I had a head cold in the middle of this week. That was interesting because I wasn't. It's weird, you know. Like I usually will get sick like 2 or 3 weeks into a job, and I've always chalked that up to, oh, it's just because I'm adjusting to a new environment. And this was like almost 4 months into this job, so I'm like, okay, that is really weird. And then I realized usually I start a job just before flu season hits. And this is the first time in a long time I haven't done that, and I started a job in the middle of summer.
Dang.
Yeah, so was on my ass for a couple of days, but ultimately I'm doing okay. Trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done before the end of the month so I can hopefully get a video out this month, but that is yet to be seen because this is shaping up to be a slightly busy week, what with stuff we have to discuss later on. But before we get into all that, I want to go ahead and remind all our listeners out there that this podcast is brought to you by Modular Media, which is the creative co-op the two of us are members of. If you have not yet, please support this podcast and all our efforts in the great and powerful YouTube algorithm by giving us a like, commenting, subscribing to the channel, and ringing that bell in order to enable notifications and getting every episode of Modular Media's podcasts as they come out. If you're listening on a podcasting platform, please follow this show in order to help us out in that algorithm. And in order to keep up with anything and everything we're doing, go and follow us on social media at The Modular Media on Twitter and r/Modular Media on the subreddit. And don't forget to check out our link tree for everything and anything Modular Media. It's link.tree/The Modular Media Hub. But with all that plugging and loving out of the way, let's go ahead and crack on into the news. And first off, we've got some release news for y'all folks. Hey, guess what? We were right last week. MMPR Season 3. The first 10 episodes are on YouTube now.
At
Hooray.
least this means we're getting Zio next month.
Yeah, and like Zio's good shit.
I'm kind of mixed on Zio. I need to rewatch it. I'll definitely give Zio a rewatch when it drops on YouTube.
Yeah, Zio is like MMPR finally realizing its potential, honestly. I really love that season.
But I have a lot of mixed feelings, mostly with one specific story arc, but again, I need to rewatch it to confirm those mixed feelings.
Fair enough. I think I know what you're talking about, and that is rough going. But, yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot I can say about these episodes, because it's A Friend in Need, Ninja Quest, and then 3 filler episodes that I don't remember anything about.
Well, let's just bring that up. I was completely wrong. They did not skip Friend in Need.
Yeah, we got, hey, HD Masked Rider footage, everybody. We did it. Woo!
Although, is it just me, or it's probably just the episode length, because like Friend in Need Part 2 is a bit shorter than Part 1 and 3. Like, I don't know. Probably just the episode length.
Yeah.
Honestly, this really Friend in Need's the most significant part, and also Ninja Quest for introducing one of my favorite MMPR characters, Ninjor.
I know there's a lot of people out there that like Ninja Quest. I just never remember anything about it outside of the scene where the Thunder Swords get destroyed, because that is way too dramatic for what it is.
Yeah, they went hard on that one. Like, original footage, that was like, whoa.
Yeah.
They're just like, you know what, let's traumatize some kids today.
Also, the way I first found out about that was the fucking History of Power Rangers video.
I think a lot of us found this is
all of us video. Youngins out there.
Yeah, all of us Zoomers, Gen X, Z. I don't know.
Anybody born after the MMPR years.
Yeah, I just stumbled upon Lucaris history. But speaking of things that will hopefully lead to more History of Power Rangers, maybe Dino Fury Season 1 Part 2 is on Netflix right now. Go watch it. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's good stuff. We've been talking about it for weeks on end on this show. We liked it. It's good. It's good TV. Yes, yeah. Power Rangers is enjoyable again consistently.
I hope it stays that way.
You're gonna fucking jinx it. Why do you always do this?
Look, it's a pattern, man. Like. I gotta stay ahead of the curve. I gotta have my expectations realistic.
It's not a pattern if you keep connecting it and predicting it. You are willing this shit into existence. I swear to God.
Fine, maybe
you need to go in open-minded. You know, maybe this will be the good one.
Yeah, I guess I should. I've just been burned so many times. I'm just like actually so many times. I've just been Beast Morph for Season 2. What are you talking about?
You're like a jaded 40-year-old comic book fan with Power Rangers. Sometimes I swear to Christ.
Well, I mean, fair. I think these are some really cool episodes. You got the Izzy romance episodes. You got that surprisingly good Lord Zed episode that I hope actually leads to good plot developments in Season 2 and not bad ones. You got more Void Knight goodness and stuff. Really, these episodes really cement him as one of my favorite Power Rangers villains. And you got Ollie being Ollie. And I guess Aeon's there. He only gets like 2-3 focus episodes, and one of those he shares with Zato. He shares 2 of them with Zato.
Which is fine.
Yeah. I hope he gets more like stuff to, because like usually what I like about Six Rangers and Power Rangers, they usually get like an episode, like they get a few episodes.
They take over the show for like 10 episodes.
And I like that because they're all not. Usually the bad ones like just take over just by themselves, but like the good ones, they interact with the other castmates and do duo episodes. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like that was lacking. Maybe Season 2 will provide. I don't know. They kind of like decided to introduce him later than they like.
I feel like that's the case here because it's this team now being used to, okay, we have to do a proper ending at the end of the season, even though it's the halfway point of the show.
Yeah. Like, also, because apparently they were writing this season as Rhea Soldier was airing, and so they didn't have any, like, context to work off Gold, so they're just like, okay, when Gold debuted in Rhea Soldier, they're like, okay, guess we're writing him in now.
So they got the suit at the same time as Toei. That's amazing.
Yeah, or I don't think they got it physically. I think they were watching it. Apparently, some rumors say they were watching it on like illegal websites, which is just hilarious to me.
I mean, that's kind of been a one. What's the term? It's the worst kept secret. It's been that way for a while because remember back in the Saban Brands era, the first trailer we used to get for every season would inevitably have TV Neon subs in it.
And, like, we kind of got that with Dino Fury's debut trailer, but no, what you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. But that is it as far as Power Rangers release news. But in, hey, announcements are coming soon news, it's time for another Hasbro PulseCon, everybody!
Yeah. Okay, legit, I'm excited. I don't know what. I just felt like being snarky.
Like, I am looking forward to this. I would say everybody temper your expectations, because yes, we got a lot of reveals at PulseCon last year, but also we just had a massive leak. So, it's entirely possible that, yeah, we could get a ton of stuff revealed at PulseCon, but it might be a ton of stuff we already know about.
Yeah, I think that, like, that's probably going to be... There's 3 panels, and they're actually Power Rangers is opening up PulseCon on Friday.
Yeah, they flipped the script.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's very promising. So there's 3 Power Rangers panels back to back. Dino Fury panel with cast, which will most likely have.
We need
What?
to detail this out for the listeners. We're reporting news here. So Friday, October 22nd, which is
Yeah, I
this
was
coming
detailing it.
Friday.
I was detailing it.
Mm-hmm. And at 11:05 a.m. Eastern time, it will be the Dino Fury panel.
Yeah, that's the first panel they're opening with. We might get a season 2 trailer, maybe a season 30 tease. I doubt it, but it could happen because Dino Fury's all done. So
I would not expect a season 30 tease until at least mid 2022.
okay, fair. I don't know. You never know of these things. Probably like a more coherent release schedule for season 2 because season 1's all done now in the US with Netflix. So they're probably just gonna be like, hey, season 2 on Netflix on this day. Mark your calendars and have fun, kids.
Yeah.
Because like I feel because usually the season 30 tease happens in the season 2 trailer, so that's why I'm like, they could do that. They could do that.
I'm hoping we like my biggest thing as far as Dino Fury goes, like we might get some fun backstage info from like cast Q&A they might set up.
I think that's what they're definitely doing that because it said with cast.
Yeah, but like the main thing I'm expecting is just like, or the main thing I want rather is just proper confirmation of when and how season 2 is releasing. Like, are we getting it all at once? Are we doing weekly on Netflix, or are we getting it in like a Steven Baum-esque system?
Oh man, this is the first time I've heard about Steven Universe since like half a year ago.
I couldn't think of the proper word. Like, I literally thought of Steven Baum as you were saying chunks.
Yeah. But yeah, and then next will be the product panel, which might give us some more Dino Fury news, most likely more Lightning Collection, probably some stuff we saw in the big leak.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a lot of Lightning Collection reveals. Like I said, it's probably going to be a lot of the stuff we've already gotten leaked. There may be one or two surprises. Like the biggest thing I could honestly expect is maybe they tease the first HasLab project, because Hasbro's been really full speed ahead on HasLabs lately.
Yeah, cause I feel like would Serpentera be a HasLab? Maybe
they could do that. They could do like a Megazord cockpit or a Power Range or a Command Center playset. Were two things I was thinking of. We could get some.
Serpentera is something that like warrants a HasLab, but also appeals to the casuals. So I think
we could also get some bigger vehicles, or like something I would really like is the thing they did with, or are doing right now, because I believe it's still active, the current Transformers HasLab is not necessarily a big, giant wow thing, but it's like a thing, we don't know if this would sell well at retail, so we're doing it as a HasLab, and it's as big and as impressive as we can possibly make it. We're not worried about a retail budget. So I would be interested in doing something like that, like maybe a team or a set of characters of some kind they don't think will sell at retail for the Lightning Collection.
Oh, for God's sake, if they do RPM as HasLab, you're not going to hear the end of it from me.
I was thinking more like the Dark Rangers.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Or like the, what's their name? The 10 Phantom Beast Generals? That'd be cool.
I don't think that would appeal to like a HasLab casual audience, to be honest.
Yeah.
That seems a bit like niche.
What's another MMPR thing that would fit in there? Jesus.
The really only thing one I can think of is Serpentera, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final panel, which is more linked to our other podcast called No Prize, Boom Power Rangers Boom Studios comics. They're probably going to be elaborating more on the Altarian War. Maybe
Ryan Parrott is going to be on it, and I'm expecting it to just be nothing but like, hey, what's the Altarian War going to be like? Oh, well, I can't tell you, but here's some little hints and some things that I'm trying to extrapolate on. Because that's what Ryan Parrott sounds like.
Yeah, he sounds like Obi-Wan Kenobi. But yeah, I feel like the big thing we can possibly get is a new comic, like a new ongoing, maybe a new graphic novel, although I'm not sure how well, if they want to do that, because I don't know how well those graphic novels have been selling, but critically, those have been failing with the Power Rangers audience outside of, like, Soul of the Dragon, which
Soul of the Dragon is the only good one, from what I've heard. And Soul of the Dragon is the only good one, from what I've heard. And it's the only one I've read.
Oh, I've heard horrible things about Sins from the Future and Psychopath, especially Psychopath.
Same. That's why I haven't read them.
Like, from what I know, Psychopath has good ideas. It's just it's just not good. But like, Sins of the Future is just complete trash from what I've heard. So I'm like, honestly, I feel like they should have got writers from the actual show instead of just random boom writers to do this. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be cool. Bringing like Jackie Marchant to write like epilogues for seasons she was a big part of.
Yeah. Hell, like maybe I don't know what Eddie Gazillion's doing, but get him to write the RPM comic.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe make it like a Ryuki episode final deal where it's like his ending for RPM that we never saw. I don't know.
Just call up Chip Lynn and he's like, God damn it, I can never escape!
Yeah. Or just even get fans, because I don't maybe they're fans, but they don't really like, these comics don't really feel, I don't really feel that fan energy, you know?
Yeah. And there is, of course, plenty of other stuff that'll be taking place at PulseCon. There's going to be panels for pretty much every major Hasbro property, and
including Fortnite.
I will say this: if you're not a regular listener of our flagship show, Modular Components, we'll probably be giving our first thoughts on everything shown on PulseCon at that. However, you won't get it until after next week's TWIT, just because of the way scheduling with that works.
Yeah.
Because
probably hear like first thoughts on the Power Rangers and everything else, like our raw thoughts on the Power Rangers stuff, and then everything else.
Yeah, because Snowcone83 is on that show most weeks, and him and I are massive Hasbro fans, so we'll probably be like,
in quotation marks.
Yeah, we'll probably be like, yeah, Power Rangers. Anyways, the Transformers and the G.I. Joe panels, that's what that podcast will be. It's just gonna be like 40 minutes of Cody screaming about Transformers, and it'll be glorious. So, cheap plug for Modular Components. There you go.
Yeah, we've plugged 2 of our podcasts in this segment.
Excellent. Maximum brand synergy achieved.
Yeah, we might want to hurry it up because I think we spent a lot of the PulseCon speculation. So,
But moving right along to Kamen Rider news for the week. I've managed to miss pretty much every one of these, and I tend to not talk about it because Toei has been releasing Rider stateside on YouTube, but they've only been releasing the first 2 episodes of like every show. So it's hard for me to put it in here as like, hey, this show is available internationally, go watch it. But I figured, you know what the heck, it's Buster's favorite show. So Build is up on YouTube, folks. They finally got to it.
Although there is a funny translation error. Instead of Banjo Ryuga, it's Manjo Ryuga, the subtitles say.
My old pal, Manjo.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd highly recommend Build. I would recommend watching it in its entirety, but the first episode's one of the best debuts in Kamen Rider, so I'd highly recommend it. So, yeah, that's all I got. Watch Build, and my retrospective.
I mean, I like Build on the whole, but I have always been of the opinion of that first episode feels very rushed.
It is, but it's like, for me, it's a good kind of rush, where it's like, oh yeah, we're getting into the good stuff, you know?
Yeah, I feel like if you watch it in the second episode back to back, which, hey, that's all people are going to be able to do for at least a while, the second episode helps it a lot because it slows things down. It's like, okay, let's explain stuff and also figure out how the freaking plot of the week is going to work.
Yeah, even so, I'd say, like, I watched Build live, so, like, you know, I know, like, I'd say most of the episode, episode 1's still a good hook. But yeah.
But getting into toy news, hey, do you remember Kamen Rider 01?
You mean Zeto?
Do you remember the Kamen Rider 01 movie, or Geo, or whatever?
It was Geo movie. It was the Geo movie, you fool.
It's late.
Yeah, fair.
Actually, that's not a fair excuse. It's only 9 o'clock, and I had an energy drink with my dinner. I just completely blanked. But no, Premium Bandai has announced that they will be doing the DX Quartzer RideWatch set, which is RideWatch is based off of the Geo movie writers who are frickin' Zonjis and Xananos. God, those names are stupid.
Basically, the big thing is that we're getting more Showa RideWatches, and we get to Black RX forms. We got all Black RX's forms. We get the 90s trilogy of Zeto, Shin, and Jay, which I might cop that
my
just
boys,
for this.
my boys.
I might get this just for the Zeto RideWatch, because I really love Zeto. And we're also getting some Amazons. Amazons, I think, Alpha and Neo.
Yeah, and a blank RideWatch, which I didn't realize they hadn't already released. You'd think that would have been a P Bandai thing already.
I guess it's just let's just throw one more.
But it's also just friggin' bizarre because these are P Bandai releases for Geo's movie, and we're what, like 3-4 years removed from that movie now?
We're 3 series. Yeah, I mean, they've been doing this a lot. I mean, we got, like, Ghost got its V-Cinema toys, like, when the Ghost Sabers thing. And then we have, like, Progress Keys, like, 2 seasons after 01's ended. Are they just, like, this...
But, like, 01 still had after content coming out.
No, that was after... that was after Others.
Was it?
Yeah.
I feel like we got that just before the last Others was subbed.
No. But like Others was out in Japan for a good while. So
yeah, that's right. God damn it, fucking countries and shit. Yeah, these are P Bandai things. You're gonna need a middleman to get a hold of them, and I guess if you wanna get a hold of them, pre-orders will be starting in November. Or no, they close in November. They've already started being taken. So. I don't know, it's neat that these are happening, but, like, it doesn't particularly entice me, and I can't imagine that it would anyway if I had a GQ driver, just because it's P Bandai. That's an incredible markup, and it's also years removed from the, like I said, years removed from the relevancy of these things.
Yeah, although I do have a GQ driver, it's the only driver I have, so maybe I'll find it, I don't know, the Zeto one, I have no idea if that's gonna happen, but... You never know. Speaking of P Bandai, this kind of ties into a spoiler for this week's Revice.
But fuck it.
I was going to introduce it, but
what? Do I do the news or do you do the news? What's going on here? Are you release man? I thought you were a release man.
I got so used to doing the news on that 1 week.
Because I'm used to you doing the transitions, and then I pick up the ball and introduce the thing. So. You threw me off there, friendo.
Alright, okay. Do the thing.
Okay, Kamen Rider Revice DX Demons driver has been revealed, which, if you weren't aware, that's the driver that Daiji picked up in episode 2 and was like, hey, can I use this? And they said, no, fuck you. And now, in this week's episode, it went to the other Phoenix boy.
Hiromi.
Yeah, it went to Hiromi. And they're releasing it as a P Bandai item for $97.
Okay, to be slightly fair, there's like a lot of LEDs, but still, what the hell?
We're 7 episodes into this show. Yeah. And there's already the fact that they're releasing this as a P Bandai release so early in the show for so much money is really fucking egregious in my opinion. And, it makes me highly suspicious of this character now. There's been a lot of people theorizing on Twitter, and I think rightfully so, this guy might be the episode 13 a casualty.
Yeah, because I think Geo didn't have one, 01 and Saber had one. Yeah, I think Gio's the only one that missed on one. Even so, Bill didn't really have one.
Yeah, but, the other shoe... The trope is that the other shoe drops. Somebody doesn't need to die, but, I can see it happening here with this guy.
Yeah. I will say, I think we're still gonna see more of Kamen Rider Demons, just through, in other means, even if Hiromi dies. That's all I'll say, because I saw a leak. Like a set photo that was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cool looking toy, and it looks like it has some really neat functionality. I meant functionality, but yeah, I just don't get why they paywalled this. It seems so ridiculous to me, especially because it's one of the cooler belts It's actually, in my opinion, the coolest belt they've released for the show so far. I like this better than the Revice driver or the evil driver.
Yeah, to be fair, we haven't gotten a toy for the evil driver yet, so I think next week we'll get an announcement.
What if that's a P Bandai release too?
I doubt it because evil is. I think he's supposed to be secondary, and I don't think they'll lock the secondary behind P Bandai. I'll be proven wrong next week.
Yeah, well, speaking of locking things behind paywalls, so for those of you who aren't aware, in the last couple weeks, a new Ultraman mobile game launched in the States. Ultraman Kaiju Combat. And this was created by a developer called Elevated Games. And this thing became quickly very infamous because you have to purchase an NFT to get access to it. Also, their Twitter account began making vague threats at fans who criticized them for making their game like this. And so this week...
to steal art.
Mm-hmm. And so this week... sorry. God damn it. We are all off whack tonight.
I'm sorry.
But, yeah, so just this week, Tsuburaya Productions themselves stepped in and basically said, hey, these guys have been violating their contract left and right by doing this kind of stuff, so that game is no longer official licensed product. Which is kind of a big deal, kind of a bro move on Tsuburaya's part.
Yeah. And it is like apparently they're also discounting all NFT products because there was a couple other Ultraman NFTs that were made. I think they're also disowning those. So I think some legal action's about to take suit.
Mm-hmm. Which is nice. It's really cool how like Tsuburaya is very protective of their brand in an actually like morally wholesome way, not a dickhead filing tons of ridiculous claims on YouTube Toei way.
Or like Nintendo taking down fan games way.
Yeah. Like this seems like a big oof, but honestly it's probably the most wholesome story we could possibly end off with this week because yeah, that is all the news that's fit to print. So, Buster, do you want to go ahead and take us into the new releases as you're supposed to?
Yeah. well, I'm trying to download Sora for Smash right now. But anyway, Ultraman Trigger, New Generation Tiga, Episode 13, the Mark Captain, Detective that guy's fake case file. What do you think?
It's pronounced Maru, and, this episode was frustrating.
Is it a clip show? Because usually Ultraman 13s are clip shows, so...
Yeah, it's a clip show, but, like, I'm one of those people that is not opposed to clip shows in concept. I think you can do a clip show extraordinarily well. I have seen some really good clip show episodes in my day. This, however, was not, and was extremely annoying, because all the clip shows are just footage of various fights that were debuts for trigger forms, and they come up with the flimsiest fucking excuses to bring them in. And there's also some weird fourth wall breaking humor in there, and I did not dig it at all. Like, I really wanted to like it, because on the one hand, the episode being a farce about one of the characters going on a power trip, the sillier character that's voiced by Mao, oh hey, Mao's finally getting to act, and we're finally getting to do some fun comedy stuff with this fun comedy character we've had just sitting there. It sounds like a great idea. But, like, every time I'm getting invested in the episode, it has to grind to a halt to do clip show stuff that doesn't even feel natural, like a part of the plot. Like, there's a moment where some clips just start playing because they said something that reminded Kengo of a fight, and he starts talking about it, and Maru is like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh shit, that's right. She doesn't know I'm Ultraman. Damn it. It's like, I don't know. There's some weird character inconsistencies in this one that just made me go like, yeah, this is a bit of a step down from the last few weeks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like Trigger was getting good, and then just this episode happened and just kind of threw a wrench into everything.
I'm hoping it's more of a speed bump than anything.
Yeah, because like clip shows are hit and miss in general. Okay, question about High School Hero. Should we talk about both episodes at the same time or one at a time?
I mean, we can do whatever.
Okay, we'll do both at the same time. The High School Heroes, episodes 7 and 8, the finale, the Red Decides, the Yes or No Quiz of Friendship and Union, and the last battle, the 6 colors of Friendship and Union. What did you think?
It was a little more dramatic than I expected, but that's not a bad thing. I really like how they kind of throw you for a loop for a little bit and then very quickly get back on track by the time you get into the last episode. Because that whole reveal with the teacher, the whole time I was going like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. I was not getting any secret bad guy vibes off of him at all in the show before. And then they're like, well, that's because it's bullshit. And I was like, okay, good.
Yeah. Honestly, these episodes were really fun and like very dramatic. Like I still like how they did the Loner Six Ranger trope amongst all this, and what else? Just a lot of great moments. Just like you got like I feel like everyone like even minorly contributed to this and stuff.
Very few of the characters have felt like they've faded into the background, and I think that's probably due to the extended runtime compared to what we're used to with Sentai. And like overall, I feel like that has been both an attribute and a detriment to the series depending on the episode. Like we were talking about this on No Prize the other night, but like there are some episodes of this that because there's a long stretches where it's just characters talking to each other, it does start to feel a little boring. But this episode didn't have that at all because it's really working overtime to try and wrap up as much of the plot as it can.
Yeah. Yeah, I like, and I really like the kind of social, the not so subtle social commentary they pulled with like the teaching. I mean, I don't think neither of us are qualified to like fully go into it because it's a Japanese high school setting, and those have completely different like context in like an American high school setting. But like, still, it was.
That being said, considering he's a teacher, I would love to get Database's thoughts on this show.
Oh yeah, I think he would love it. Like, we gotta send him the links.
Yeah. As soon as he finishes the next Power Reviews, I'm just gonna kick down the door to his house and be like, "Here, watch this."
Yeah. But Database, if you're watching, please watch the High School Heroes, and all of you.
We are once again asking you to watch the High School Heroes.
Yeah, it is honestly best Toku of the year, hands down. Like, I mean, like really every Toku minus like Girl Gun, Waku Saver, and Ultraman have been like bangers. So yeah, yeah, even Ultraman can produce like a banger episode, but it's not like a banger like that. But like, you get what I mean.
Yeah, it's been a little rocky this year with Ultraman, but no, getting back to High School Heroes, there was also some really good action this episode. Like, I don't know how long it's been since I've seen a really good oneer take in a Toku action scene, but when that happened in episode 7, my jaw freaking dropped.
Yeah, they're like with Akared and like Akahiro fighting not fighting each other, but like fighting the big bad. That was so good.
Yeah, and the fact that they acknowledge Akared, it's like, no, he's not a delusion. He's actually been there. This takes place in the Sentai universe. Cause shut up.
Yeah, just like complete fourth wall breaking. Oh man, like and like man, just like he is the little representation of like the passion of Sentai to these characters, and that's beautiful, man. What a beautiful show! What a great, just so good. I got like no, maybe I'll go deeper into it like at a later date. But man, I really hope the OP and ending full songs get released soon.
Now here's the big question, because we've talked before about how this is basically another Akiba Ranger style production. Do we want a season 2 of this?
No. Maybe like extra episodes, like maybe like I want more so cameos. I want more so like the greater Sentai universe to acknowledge these guys.
I mean, like they do leave it open for that. They say at least Taisei has one more year of high school left, so there's room to do a second season. But like this is such a tight knit beginning, middle, and end story. I don't feel like they need to. And also, I'm in the extreme minority of not like Akiba season 2. when I love season 1. So yeah, let's not ruin this with an additional story that's dumb, please.
Yeah, please don't. Anyway, but yeah, I feel like at most I highly doubt it's gonna be released into the States, but like, it would be great one day if we can get a States release for this, or just like, just more acknowledgement of it from Toei.
This is how Shout Factory gets back into Sentai DVDs. They're just like,
Bro,
what? It's not an official show.
That would be so good. That would be so good. I highly doubt it because there's also other parties involved with the show, not just Toei, but still, man, just what a great send off to like one of the best shows of this year, even outside of Toku.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it yet, go out and watch High School Heroes. It's a strong, like, literally, unless Revice just keeps getting better and better from here on out till the end of the year, I think it's just purely personal preference between either this or Zenkaiger is show of the year, because they've both been extremely good and they're both technically Sentai shows.
Yeah. Also, question: do we want to do like an end of the year like awards?
That sounds like work.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it, and you can just tell me your opinions, like, so you can like filter, like an all collective. But anyway, on to superhero time. Kamen Rider Revice, episode 7, Thief Keyboard. I'm Kakaru. What did you think?
Skateboard.
Yeah.
I like how you said keyboard when I clearly wrote skateboard there.
Did I say keyboard?
Yeah, we've both been flubbing like crazy tonight. Jesus.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Sora, Kingdom Hearts, I'm excited for that, but anyway. But this was a banger. I really like the twist with, like, Daji is, like, his inner demon is controlling him, which that might be live, so that'll be pretty cool. Or, like, Kagaru might be live, like, Kamen Rider Live, because there's a rumor about Evil and Live, so.
I like how they're continuing the whole, like, it feels very almost Marvel-esque with how heroes will have their own supporting cast, but they'll also report to S.H.I.E.L.D. a whole lot. I like Iki's interplay between Phoenix and his friends at the bathhouse. That was a really cool moment in this episode, especially because they brought back the same freaking guy who gave Iki information a couple episodes ago to give him information again. And I feel like it's going to be a running gag with him of, so what do you do for a living that you have access to this stuff? I'd rather not say.
Yeah.
Which I hope they never reveal it. I hope we go the whole show and just never find out. Pull a frickin' Jim from Code Lyoko with that.
Dang. But yeah, Vice was like, he continues to be pretty good in this. Like, his game, I think he finally solidified himself as like a pretty decent comic relief.
Because there's consequences for him being a dick shit here.
Not even just that, but I just feel like his dialogue was just punchier.
I also love that we didn't hint at George being evil again this week, or we're taking a minute out to be like, no, this is an episode where every time we see him, he's doing sillier stuff because the good guys know him as a silly man. So
yeah,
they're also, only gonna.
I'm not sure which subs you watched, but like when he was talking about Jackal X8, he said Phase 2. Do you think that was like, I know that was like referring to like the monster, but do you think was that also like an in-joke to Heisei Phase 2?
I would not be surprised if it is. That might be actually directly what they're talking about. Because remember, he's a Kamen Rider super fan. Yeah. And also, I think they called it that in my subs. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I used Legend Rush from Nyai. Oh, I shouldn't say that.
Oh, wow, we're Tokusatsu fans and we use Nia Torrents. What a fucking surprise.
Yeah. Anyway.
That was good. So shall we get into Supaida Man?
Kamen Rider Demons. I completely forgot about Demons. So apparently, Hiromi's actor was originally gonna die in episode 1, but then they liked him so much, they're like, you know what? I like you, kid. You're gonna be a Kamen Rider, and here's Kamen Rider Demons.
That happens so much in Toei productions, I notice, where like somebody auditions for a character or they have plans for their character and they're like, oh, this actor is so good, we're going to alter the plans for their character so they can kind of do something like that.
Yeah. He still might die, but like maybe they'll give him a bit more screen time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Demons, he got a really good debut. Really like his henshin and the sound effects. And granted, it's got like $100 belt, but still the sound effects were really cool. The suit I really dig.
I
honestly
think it's the best suit in the show so far.
Yeah. I'm a bit more like I like Kamen Rider Evil mostly because it reminds me of Blade. I think it might be using the Blade Vice stamp. I don't know. I hope it is.
I mean, it's the first suit I've seen in a while that's made me go like, ooh, I wouldn't mind having a figure arts of that.
Yeah. I just love how it's just straight up demons. That just cracks me up. I don't know why.
Yeah. Frickin' frackin' tickin' tackin'. What was I gonna say? Oh, actually wouldn't be surprised if it's the Build Vice stamp. Have we seen that yet?
No.
Yeah, but like it's a spider, and remember, Build had a lot of like tiny blink and you'll miss it spider motifs on his base form.
Also, the V Cinema form was a spider. Like one of the V Cinema villains for Cross, that V Cinema was a spider. So maybe it's Builds. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only way to know is to get frickin' Iki to use it, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do at some point.
Yeah, I will say actually, I think I might have wished a bit hard on like the main rider having blue elements in this show, because now every rider has some kind of blue to them.
That is true. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, but like I'm not complaining. I love the aesthetic of Revice, like very visually appealing and stuff. The skateboard finish, just the skateboarding was just hilarious. And then I love how they show like the proto Vice for like what Vice could have been when like the suit, and it looked like Poppy.
He looked like a freaking furry, honestly. Like he looked like what a furry that likes Renamon would make a Kamen Rider form look like.
Nice.
But no, I really dug this episode. The plot of the week was a tad on the weak side, but I think that's primarily because there's a lot of plot shit they're juggling as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, the next episode looks to be, like, hitting hard with, like, stuff, but, like, yeah, good Revice this week. Very good Revice this week.
Also, I almost forgot, but I wanted to mention, for the first time in a long time with a Toei show, I recognized a location that's not just a location they use all the time. The warehouse that they chase the spider monster into.
That's a jackal monster.
Oh yeah, the jackal monster. That's the same Revice that Hyper Muteki debuted in. Yeah, and I haven't seen, maybe it was in Saber, but I haven't seen that warehouse in Riders since then.
Yeah, I know like Saber used one of the Ghost warehouses from the best episode of Ghost, but either way, good stuff. Do we move on to Zenkaiger?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Alright, Kikai Senta Zenkaiger, episode 32. Freaky Friday? Or is it Monkey Monday? What did you think?
I think it is Monkey Monday, considering we're recording on a Monday, and I watched the episode on a Monday. And also, it's weird that they did that, considering that the fucking show airs on Sunday in Japan.
Yeah, they probably should have called it, like, I don't know what, maybe just a translation thing.
Switchy Sunday?
Yeah, this was a very interesting body swap episode, mostly because they do something with the Stacy and Kaito body swap that like feels very in line with Kaito's character. Like,
I love how he's just immediately like, "Oh, I'm gonna go look for Dad."
Yeah, just looking for Dad. Just be like,
I do have a massive nitpick though, which is that like they establish right away, hey, you switch bodies, you keep the weapon. And for a second, I thought that meant like, oh, so Kaito and Stacy's body is gonna have his Zenkai gun as well. And then later in the episode, it's like, no, he has the Dark Changer, because shut up. Yeah. And also,
I think they just didn't swap weapons, so they just had it on them.
Yeah, that was a little weird. I thought like it could have done with better explanation, or maybe like Like, I just say, instead of having that moment where he's like, oh, I've still got the cannon, have him get it after he knocks into Stacy. That would have felt more natural, in my opinion. But no, I enjoyed the body swap episode for the most part, or the body swap aspect of the episode, I meant to say. Just, it's the same nitpick I always have when they do it in kids shows. Is I hate having the voices be the same for the character. Like,
yeah, it doesn't
if you're
let the
gonna,
actors act.
yeah, because it always. The reason I've always thought of for why body swap episodes exist is like, oh, let everyone stretch their acting muscles a bit more. And like, yes, you get that a lot with the body language, but because everybody's overdubbing everybody, it feels weirder than it should.
Yeah, it feels weaker, even though like Stacy
Feels weirder than it should.
Yeah, it feels weaker, even though like Stacy's actor really did a good job of Kaito's character in this episode.
Yeah, especially because this is one of those episodes where also nobody acknowledges that the voices are different.
Yeah.
Like there isn't explicitly a moment where they mistake somebody for somebody else, but like I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna swap the voices, it should either be as diegetic as possible or just don't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That being said, getting to see Flint transform was probably the highlight of the episode for me.
Yeah, it was also great, like the behind-the-scenes picture of Flint in the two Kaiser suits.
Mm-hmm. And the whole time in Zox's body, she's just standing back there chanting, "I get to see myself do a transformation. This is amazing."
Yeah, although like it is Zox, but like still,
yeah,
it's neat. I don't think it would. I don't know. I'd probably consider it slight bait, but only because I saw an out of context scan of it in the magazines that they post for like toy listings and new episodes.
I mean, if anything, that whole subplot just shows that they're probably very aware that people want Flint to transform, and that being said, that allows me to still hold out hope that she may get her own powers by the end of the show, possibly in a V cinema.
Yeah, or like a post-series movie or something. I don't know. I hope it happens sooner than later. But yeah, even besides that, Zenkaiger is pretty, back on track. Yeah, a great week minus Ultraman of new releases.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I want to talk about Wizard just yet because I want to like watch more. So I think I'll save that for next.
Where are you in it?
What?
Where are you in it?
Episode 31. Last time I finished.
Okay. Yeah, you're making progress. You're pretty far.
Yeah, I just want to finish the show before I talk about because I feel like the like Wizard's a very slow show. That's not complaint. It's just like it takes. I think I want to talk about all at once because I don't want to like waste all my ammo.
Yeah. I definitely understand that, and part of the reason I like Wizard is because of how slow it is. It feels like, here's the thing. I sound like a freaking mom saying I didn't have a child on accident. It was an unplanned pregnancy. But like I think of Wizard more as it's deliberately paced. Yeah. There's designated filler episodes because they want the show to feel more like a proper series rather than just a rush to a plot conclusion. They have space to do other things, so they do other things.
For me, I feel like everything, the 2-episode arc, the structure just didn't work for Wizard. If I'm gonna say anything, I just feel like these could have been like some of these could have been 2 episodes, but like most of them could have been 1.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. That's one of the few criticisms, and I probably should have put that in my video now that I think about it. But like that's one of the few criticisms I definitely can nod my head and agree with. Is like, yeah, Shinpei is superfluous. Some of the episodes definitely did not need to be multi-parters.
Yeah, I like Shinpei, but I just feel like, like for being the longest Kamen Rider series in Heisei, it's not. I don't think it uses that time well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I got. Should we plug stuff?
That is the end of the episode. That's everything we have to go over this week. So, Buster, let the good people know who you are and where they can find your content should you want them to.
What's up, I'm Buster Corp. I do video essays on the internet, specifically my YouTube channel, also called Buster Corp. I put out 2 Kamen Rider videos this week, a ghost analysis and a drive analysis, which probably both pissed Vac off. But anyway, if you go check those out. I have a Gaim analysis coming on Friday. Pretty good stuff. And check the channel out. We got lots of Toku and gaming content on there. So
excellent. Well, I am The Vacuuminator. I'm a YouTuber as well. I'm dipping my toes back into the video essay game, and hopefully we'll be getting back into it in earnest after this month. I've just got a lot of side projects and whatnot I need to clear up before I can really get back to video making like I want to be. But you can check out what I have already made by going to youtube.com/thevacuuminator, which is TheVacuuminator, and you can also follow me on Twitter at the Modular, or at the Vacuuminator, excuse me. And that's going to do it for this week in Tokusatsu, guys. So we'll see you next week when hopefully I'll be a lot more coherent and on the ball and won't be flubbing stuff as much. And hey, we might also find out what happens that week in Tokusatsu.